aggressive coaching personality. So what we did was we put him in the box. And I was the one with him on the headset, and then I would explain exactly what he was seeing to our head coach, who refused to be on the headset because he couldn't listen to the F-bombs because of his Christianity. So, one game, we're playing a school by the name of Zion Lutheran, and we're the visitors, so we're on the far side, and Doc is in the box, in the stands, and all of the families of Zion Lutheran are there, and Doc's on the headset screaming, "Number 33 is a num-num." And when you say num-num, you mean, listen, throw it to Nicholas Doucette because number 33 can't cover him. And the woman turns around and she screams, "That's my son." and in great Doc, he turns to her and goes, "Then you know." So, let me get back to where I was at. I just had to get that one off my chest. Listen, Mike was 50. Mike was 50 years old when I met him. And, by the way, I told Chris I had shed my last tear. Okay? I drive all day, every day. I have bouts of extreme crying and then extreme laughter. Okay? I lost my father 6 months before I met Mike. Death has never affected me. Like I've always lived by the rule of, like, that's the hand that God handed you, dealt you, hey, sorry about that. Until I lost Mike. Fuck ALS. So, I didn't meet Mike until he was 50. I was 38. I was 10 years older than Chris is right now. This blows my fucking mind. Okay. So I've only had him for 20 years. So I am envious of all of you that knew him before that. And that's the truth. Over the course of the rest of this whole whatever we're at here, because I don't know what to call it other than a celebration of the greatest human being in the world. Grab me, if you knew him before he was 50, tell me a story. Because I've heard his side, and I'm sure there's two sides. Okay? I'm going to try to keep this short, but I could stand up here all fucking night. Okay? I want to get to the part where he told me all about how Sherry was playing hard to get. I got to listen to these stories, and I think Sherry was playing never in a million years. But in the great words of Chris earlier tonight, I was with Mike 6 days before he passed. Okay. Every time I start to get choked up, I'm going to say fuck ALS. So I was with him 6 days before. I was with him on Saturday. I sat with him for 8 hours and I watched football. And when he passed, Chris called me at about 2 o'clock on a Friday and told me, "Hey, Mike passed." I didn't know how I was going to go tell my kid. My son looked at me and said, "Thank God." Because see it 6 days before.
I didn't want him to suffer anymore.
I've cried my last tear. I'm going to continue to tell myself that. As grown adults, you don't say the words "I love you" to other men. It's like against the rules. Like, who says to another guy, "Hey, by the way, I love you," you know? But Mike and I, we we were not afraid to tell each other we loved each other. We spent a ton of time together, and I told him I loved him. So, in an effort to keep it shorter, I'm going to tell a couple stories. All you golf, I want to say this. I don't hunt. Doc loved to hunt. I don't play golf. I couldn't shoot 90 on an executive course. Okay? Doc loved to play golf. I do love football. And I got news for you. I don't care about hunting. I don't care about golf. Doc loved football before he loved any of that crap. Okay? And he and I, we would watch some freaking football. And he lived through Chris and Matt. Just for the record. Just so that you know, Chris is the only Matt is the only quarterback that I won a championship with. Chris, I won no championships. Matt, can you stand up, please? For the record, he was 8. I don't know how many of you golfers out there, I gotta tell this story. How many people were with Mike? Sherry, I'm sure this happened to you a million times. How many times were you with Mike and you told him that you had a headache or something hurt, and he reached into his pocket and he pulled out this little thing? It was like was it a contact box with little screws on it, right? And he reached down into that thing and he pulled up and he looked at me. The first thing he'd say is, "Are your Achilles tendons bothering you?" And I'd be like, "No, listen, I haven't sprinted in 20 years, no." And he'd go, and he'd look at it, he'd put those glasses on, you know, with the magnets. And he'd look at it, and then he'd go, "No, you don't need all that." And he'd take it in half, and he'd hand it to me, and he'd go, "I think this will take care of your headache, here you go." And then, 20 minutes later, I was feeling good. If Mike was in this room right now with us, he'd be giving me the old, "Hey, fuck, kill that shit. Let's stop talking about that." I don't even want to talk about the little blue pills. Fuck that. All right, enough with the jokes. I'm not the sad, cry guy. I'm the, hey, I have to make a joke out of everything because I got to make it. I'm not, listen. He taught me one of the most important things in the world. Whenever you're making a drink, get 2 solo cups. Put the ice in, the bourbon, the soda, then take it out of the first cup, pour it into the second cup, then put the other cup underneath it so that it mixes cleanly. And then you don't have to worry about stirring it. Listen, the fact that Sherry's brother's sitting in front of me, you can't stop laughing. I must be doing something right. You can tell a lot about a guy by listening to his kids talk about him. I don't know how many people were here or had the opportunity to listen to Chris talk about his father at his valedictorian speech. I do have to tell you, Chris is the smartest human being in the world, smarter than his dad was. And oh, by the way, his dad always referred to Chris and said, "I've never had to tell this kid to study, like, since he was in kindergarten. I never even had to say to him, 'Hey, did you do your homework? Did you?'" When, on the other hand, Matthew, I'm going to tell one more story. This is about Matt. Okay? We're at practice. Mike shows up. Mike's done working. He comes storming into practice, and Matt's sitting there. And he looks at Matt and he goes, "You're not going to dinner with us later. You're going straight home. You've got to pass that test tonight." And he's like, Dad, I need a 78. All I need is a 78 to pass. And Doc's like, I don't care. You're going home to study. Next day, practice, right? Matt's sitting there. Doc shows up. Fucking storms into practice. Matt's sitting there. Doc looks right at him. Like, everyone's talking about whatever. Doc looks right at Matt and goes, well, got an 80. All right, I have no fucking idea how to close this thing, but he was by far the smartest, most compassionate, generous, giving man I've ever met in my life. Amen. This man, we would go to a basketball game at Berean Christian with a bunch of people that he had no idea who they were. I'm going to tell this story because I'm sure it happened and everybody knows it and agrees with it. Two players on the basketball court who we had no idea who they were. They would collide and one of them would need stitches. It would be 8:30 at night. He would walk down onto that court. I'd look at him and go, what are you doing? And he would go down and introduce himself to those parents. This kid's bleeding, he probably needs 8 stitches. And he'd say, fuck the ER. He'd say, you're not paying for that. Here's my business card. I'm an oral surgeon. I can stitch that shit up. Get your kid in the car. Meet me over at my office at 8:30. We walk in, we turn the lights on. I've got the video. I should post it. Okay? This didn't just happen once. This happened no matter where he was or what he was doing. People he had no idea who they were. And at the end of the day, not a freaking penny. He wouldn't take a penny. You want to talk about getting choked up? That man choked me up in a fucking second. I don't know how to finish or honor him other than saying, God bless you, Sharon, because I was with him 6 days longer. And the fact that you fought for him.
Got it, Jen.
I love you for it. Maybe one tear.